a quick brief introduction again, and then, so then we can post it online for others to see later on. Okay. So we are recording. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Delegate Conference Call for the 2015 Nebraska State Convention. Thank you for taking time out of your day to become more informed on what the delegate process will look like at State Convention. Today we will discuss why we do the delegate process, explain what it will look like at convention, and give you some tips on what you can be doing before convention to get prepared. We will state the delegate proposals, and we will also take questions at the end of the call. So if you come across something that you'd like clarified, maybe write it down, and then we'll address those questions later on. Like I said, we try to get the conference call done as soon as possible so you can get to class.
All right. So to start off, we're going to talk about the importance of the delegate process. Year to year, there's different topics that will be proposed. So it can range from the big ones, like in 1969, women were allowed in, to the small ones, like getting loops put on your FFA jacket for state degrees. So there's a lot of different things that will be covered in the process. This year, we only have 2 board recommended items, and we'll look at those in a minute. But this is your opportunity to make big choices on an organization that's been around for 87 years. So this is a pretty significant thing, and you should be pretty excited that you got picked for this. So to get started, each chapter can send 2 delegates on. Everybody has the same voice in the state of Nebraska, so everybody's got a fair opportunity.
So this will bring us to the next portion of what the process will actually look like at convention. As we want to have every chapter represented, we will take roll call at each session. So please make sure to be at the specific room at the right time. We will then look at those 4 proposals, so 2 from the state and then 2 from the national. We will state the 4 issues and answer any clarifying questions to the issues at that time. We will also be stating those delegate proposals, 2 of them at least, in this session as well.
And once we get these issues, we'll break off into groups. Each state officer will take one of the groups. There'll be about 50 students in each group, and then we'll discuss them from there and prepare to vote. And then we'll come back together as a group, we'll vote, and then we'll develop like whereas statements, which will explain how we want to resolve it. So the proposed amendment will be stated as there be, or it is, or as it is, and then we'll have a resolution statement that'll be where it is, or shall it be, where it is, and then where shall it be resolved, or how shall it be resolved. So,
and that probably didn't make a lot of sense,
no.
But us state officers will help you through that process at state convention. So don't worry too much about that. It'll make more sense later. So also within our groups, we'll determine a speaker that will present the group proposal to the rest of the delegate members at our business meeting. So there's 2 meetings that'll happen at state convention. The first one will be the brainstorming discussion where you break off into groups, and then we'll have the second delegate business meeting. So at that business meeting, from there, the delegates will vote on the proposals or make any amendments that each group came to the table with. Okay. So at this time, we're going to look at a couple of the delegate proposals, probably the Nebraska ones, just to help you familiarize yourself with them. I believe your advisors have them, so be in contact with them and they'll help you out as well. Okay.
All right, so this is one of the first proposals, and this is coming from the Nebraska FFA board. And this proposal is set up to change the state degree requirements to make it match nationals. And in here you'll read, they want to change this part of it, which means they want to break down your community service hours, and instead of having 25 hours from one group or one organization, you'd have to have 25 hours from at least 2 different groups, which is how most people do it anyways, I've come to notice, or at least from what I've seen as a state officer, most people get their hours from more places than just one. So it's really not a very large change, and they're doing it to make us line up with the national requirements more so than what we do now.
Okay. That's just one delegate issue we'll be discussing. So I know as delegates you get to choose which delegate issue you will discuss at convention. So something to be thinking about if it's something you think strongly about.
All right, and then we're going to go on to the second one, which is also a state degree issue. And here it is. So this one, like I said, deals with the state degree. This one has to deal with more of the financial side. So you'll see here they want to change the requirements. So you'll have to invest a minimum of $1,000 and make a minimum of $3,000, or vice versa. And this is to line up again with the national standards for the American degree. And the big difference is the minimum $1,000 earned or invested is that's not clearly stated in our requirements. So that's the big change there. And if you want to go on and look at the requirements for the state degree, you can go on to the FFA national website, the NEAG Ed website will have our current one, so you can compare and contrast both of those online.
Okay, we'll just look at those two delegate issues this morning. The others, like I said, your advisor will have. So we'll move into some tips that you can be preparing for state convention. I'll get the screen pulled back up. Okay, so before convention, we want to tell you that we will use proper parliamentary procedure at these business meetings. So refamiliarizing yourself, or maybe even learning it for the first time, it'll be a procedure you may want to know before convention. Also, these issues are those that will affect your home chapters. So we encourage you to talk to your advisors, your officer teams, chapter members, to help you form the best consideration to each issue. These national issues will actually help the next year's state officer team when they go and do this delegate process at national convention this coming fall. So by helping that team understand what our members' views are here in Nebraska.
So we're going to open it up for any questions. So I'm going to unmute everybody. So if you don't have a question, try to stay silent so we can hear everybody. All right. Is there anyone that has a question?
What can we clarify? State again.
It does not prevent the making.
Please raise your hand or motion somehow.
Brody, which of the motions, which motion below can the chairman make? Previous question, that we reconsider or object to consider. Assuming you are the chairman at a meeting, the orders of the day are called for.
Any questions?
See part of the program. 24. For this device, raise a question which is not amendable, debatable, acceptable, or all of the above. Trent. For this device.
I guess we'll see you all soon.
Good luck.
Bye.
See ya.